right, so I know we got a little bit of a late start today, so I'm going to breeze a little bit quickly through these intros, but I'm proud to introduce Sean Stone, who is the proud owner of Stone's Goods. He also, did you found the pair strategy? That's your strategy, right? Yeah. He's going to be sharing the pair strategy for Amazon ads. So without further ado, I'll give it up for Sean.
Hey. How's it going, everyone? We're going to talk about Amazon ads today and how to make them actually profitable, probably the most important part. So what are we going to talk about? First, we're going to talk about what you want, and then also what Google wants. We've been talking about Google so much. What Amazon wants. And then we're going to talk about the actual process itself and how it works and what you need to do in order to get what you want. And then finally, we're going to talk through a few different playbooks you can use to implement this yourself. So we're going to fly pretty quick. Let's get into it. So why should you listen to this? Well, I've been doing this for a long time, full-time since 2017. But more importantly, I'm going to give you as much as I possibly can as quickly as I can. So if you've been running Amazon ads for a while, this should make your toolkit even better. If you haven't run Amazon ads yet, but you probably will, this should save you hundreds of hours and a lot of pain. Trust me, I wish this presentation existed when I came up with it. And if you realize that this is not the right session for you, this is your time to leave. Not a big deal, I won't be offended, but I do remember faces. Okay, so what do you want? Do you have goals when it comes to advertising on Amazon? I think most people would say yes, but they probably, when you push them, don't really have a good goal. They can't really get into what their SMART goals are, that kind of thing. And so really, they probably all have the same goal, which is to maximize their sales and profits. Everybody wants that, We just want to make as much money as possible for as little input as possible. That's totally fair. That makes a lot of sense. Amazon is not exactly known as a charitable organization. They're not just going to give you the maximum amount of sales and maximum amount of dollars in your bank account that you want. You need to give them something. So you might want to ask yourself, okay, what is it that Amazon wants? But that's a bit of a nebulous question. It's hard to figure out because Amazon is this giant sprawling organization with all kinds of different things. So we're going to strip it back a little bit. If we just think about what Amazon is at its core, it's a website. It's a website with a lot of products on it, and it's a website that's really designed for conversions. But that's still, that makes sense to marketers, but we're going to make it a little bit easier. Imagine this is just a website run by one guy. His name is Jeff, and everything else that he does is either a robot or AI. So we're going to pretend for the rest of this talk that this is just Jeff's website, and all Jeff cares about is making as much money as possible. So what does Jeff want? Really, the thing Jeff wants is he wants to make as many sales as possible. When you think about what actually happens on Amazon, it doesn't matter if you pay the most to be in the best spot, if you have the highest price, if you have the lowest price. Really what Jeff wants is repeat sales. And if you think about it, Jeff's superpower is customer lifetime value. I'm going to pause here for a second. There are 100 million Prime members here in the United States. How many orders do you think the average person makes in 1 year on Amazon? Throw out some numbers. Seriously. 75.
200, you said 250.
No, okay. The answer is 72. 72 over 100 million people. Think about that for a second. That is so many orders for 100 million households to do. That's crazy. And so what Jeff cares about is repeat purchases. But that's not the only thing Jeff cares about. He also cares about fast shipping. And the reason he cares about fast shipping is because people come back when they get fast shipping. You think about 2-day shipping, 1-day shipping. I got same-day shipping on a pair of jeans. That is crazy. And that is what leads to this crazy cycle of repeat purchases on Amazon. So that's what really is driving Jeff's behavior. So if we know that what Jeff cares about, then we can come up to the 4 pillars of the pair strategy and give Jeff what he wants so we can get what we want. So the four pillars are promotions, ads, inventory, and rankability. And so we're going to dive into what each of them are and how to kind of do them, and then we'll get into the playbooks. So promotions. Promotions are really just anything that is a non-ad that is set up to incentivize somebody to click on your products on Amazon. So if you think about it, you can run a deal, you can run coupons, you can run price discounts, you can just run a sale. Any of those things are all things that you can do to get somebody to click on your product without even running an ad. And it's a really, really handy thing to do. Now, why does it work so well? Well, it's kind of obvious. Shoppers love deals. Raise your hand if you don't like deals. All the hands are down. But there's a really one simple reason for that. It's because there are products on there that people already want. And then when you run a deal on one of the products that are already really effective, it drives conversion even higher, gets more results. And so everybody loves deals, so Jeff loves deals. So again, what we're trying to do here is give Jeff what he wants so that you can get what you want, which is the most amount of money possible. And so when you run a deal, it starts to do exactly what you want. So now let's get into advertising. Advertising on Amazon is actually quite simple. It's kind of like a pared back version of Google Ads. But the thing that is really important to remember about advertising on Amazon is that it's very easy to run an ad, and it's very hard to run an ad profitably. The main thing that you got to remember is that every time you make a sale, Amazon takes on average about 33% of the product price in fees on top of your advertising. So it suddenly really starts to eat away at your margins. And so anytime you run an ad, you really need to think about, how do I run ads that are profitable? And there's really one main thing that's going to make or break how well your ads do, and that is conversion rate. Because Jeff really, really, really likes conversion rate because it keeps people coming back. And so when Jeff is seeing you spend money and getting a lot of conversion rates, or a lot of conversions on any one keyword, he's going to give you a disproportionate amount of impressions, clicks, and placement, which is ultimately going to lead to the things you want. And so, he will go out of his way to give you extra impressions. Now, nope, I went backwards instead of forwards. Okay, so here's an example of that. So we're gonna, for the rest of this talk about vitamin C. And in the top left, that is a product owned by Amazon. And in the top right, that's Nature's Made, and they're in the first organic placement on Amazon. So Jeff, when I made these slides, that product, the Amazon vitamin C product, wasn't even on the first page. I literally had to go to the second page to find one of Jeff's products. That's how much he cares about conversion rate. He will put his own products on the second page of his own search results because he cares so much about conversion rate. And so Nature's Made is up at the top, not even having to pay to be in that spot. And that's how powerful conversion rate is on Amazon. So that is the kind of thing you need to be thinking about when it comes to advertising. Only advertising on the keywords that really make sense for your brand and your products. Okay, so inventory. This is an advertising conference. Why are we talking about inventory? Well, the main reason is because when you're sending your products into Amazon, you are getting them spread out all over the United States. And so there's a concept in the Amazon world called geo-rank. So somebody in San Diego will have a different set of search results than somebody in Boston, different than somebody in Portland, different than anywhere else in the country. It goes down to the zip code. And a lot of it comes down to you having enough inventory in the places that are actually close to the people you're advertising to. And so what really matters is you need to optimize your inventory strategy to make sure that you are going to be getting ideal outcomes when it comes to advertising. Because Jeff hates it when you go out of stock. When you go out of stock, Jeff will give you fewer impressions. He's going to drive up your cost per click. He's going to drive up drive down your keyword rankings. And in the last year or so, they added something called the low stock inventory fee. They literally charge you money for going low stock on Amazon. So it's absolutely insane, but it's still a platform worth doing, even with fees like that. But again, Jeff wants you to stay in stock. And then finally is rankability. So rankability is a made-up word. You don't need to go to Google and be like, what is rankability? It's me making words up. And so rankability is defined, for us at least, as a product that can make it into the top 5 search results using a combination of Amazon ads and deals. And really, the entire intent behind this is just trying to get a product or figure out if a product can go up to the top of the page. Because once you have a product that can go to the top of the page, you can really make it make it spend like crazy and convert like crazy. And so I want to ask you guys for a second. I'm going to show you some search results, but why do some products rank while other ones don't? Well, the main reason that these products are ranking at the top of the page for the term vitamin C is because they convert the highest for the term vitamin C. Again, conversion, conversion, conversion. When Jeff shows up, or when you show up on Jeff's search results, if you show up and immediately people buy and then get the product quickly and then leave a 5-star review, Jeff knows that they love that product. And so he wants that product to show up at the top of the page all the time. And so really what we're doing by having a product that is highly rankable is giving Jeff what he wants, which is products that keep people coming back. And why this matters is because once you start getting some good keyword ranking, Jeff's going to keep giving you more and more unpaid sales. So those are sometimes called organic sales, but really you're making sales on Amazon without paying for them. Then that drives down your cost per click, which then makes you send in more inventory, which Jeff likes and rewards you with more keywords, and the flywheel just starts really getting going. And so whenever you get something ranking on Amazon, the push really starts to get the flywheel going and maximize your profits. Okay, so let's talk about playbooks. The first thing you want to do is check your product's rankability. And again, we have a pretty simple framework, but it doesn't have as good of a acronym as PAIR. So it's BOOKIT. Bench. It's so bad, it's easy to remember. It's benchmark, compare, isolate, and track. And so when we say benchmark, what we're saying is we are trying to find our competitors' conversion rate. So a lot of my, even peers in the Amazon space don't really know how to use benchmarking or how to get your competitors' conversion rate, but I'm going to show you a couple of easy options in a second. But then once you get your competitors' conversion rate for any specific search term, then the only things you have to do is compare them to your own conversion rate, isolate the keywords that you have an advantage on, and then track your performance over time. So we have a couple of resources, and these are on our website. You don't even have to give us like an email. We're not trying to, these are just cool resources. So we made a custom GPT. You can upload your own search results and your own reports, and it will just spit out a report telling you where you have the good performance. And then you could also, again, I don't want to be someone who's just promoting their own crap. So this is Dataroba. This is a software company I have nothing to do with. They also, you can pay for them, and they will also give you competitor conversion rate data. So highly recommend. Anyways, when it comes to getting your competitors' conversion rates and comparing them to your own, this is kind of like an output that you'd get from our tool. And what we're pointing to here are two search terms where we have an outsized conversion rate. So the first one is a 28% conversion rate when our competition has a 15% conversion rate. That is very powerful. That's a keyword you really want to scale. And then the second one's even bigger. It's 44% compared to a 15% conversion rate. Again, if you were able to get that level of conversion, you really want to spend on these keywords because you have a huge opportunity to rank and then ultimately make a ton of unpaid or organic sales, which is going to be highly profitable for your business. Okay, so playbook number 2. Again, we're sticking with vitamin C, but playbook number 2 is kind of just an extension of playbook number 1. Once we've isolated our top search terms and figured out which ones make the most sense, we want to isolate them and spend more money on them. And the way you want to spend more money on them is taking whatever is really working and maximizing it, flood the zone. So you want to go and at the top of the search right there, that is a video ad. Then the top 4 spots, those are all advertising spots. And then the 5th spot that says overall pick, that is actually an organic placement on Amazon. So 90% of the search results without anything are ads up here. And if you have an outsized conversion rate of any of these terms, you can spend a ton of money on these and really grow your market share quite quickly without really having to think too much. So another thing you can do, playbook number 3, is run a deal. And again, you want to do this on your best products. But the main thing you're doing when you run a deal is you're telling shoppers, I want to give you a deal right now. There is a lot of good opportunity. And you can run a few different things to really incentivize people to click on your products and buy them. So the first one is what's called a lightning deal. And again, there's actually a ton of different promotions. These are the 2 that we found really work and work consistent. So lightning deals or best deals are these limited time deals that show up in the search results. And Amazon gives you an additional amount of impressions whenever you run these because shoppers love deals and Jeff loves deals. So that's something you can do, and it will often have a very outsized impact on your business. The second thing you can do is run what's called the subscribe and save coupon. You only want to run this on products that have a replenishment cycle, so you don't necessarily want to run this on like a product that doesn't have a subscription element to it. The coupons for those, generally speaking, don't work and are not profitable. So again, stick to these two and you'll be safe. That's really the best way to do this. Oh, again, I'm going backwards. Okay, so some tips for implementing the pair process. A couple of things you want to do is really focus on maximizing your conversion rates. You don't want to do anything that's going to hurt your conversion rate, and you also really don't want to do anything that's going to limit your inventory. So if you are going to run out of stock, you want to slow down what you're doing. If you have lots of stock, you want to go crazy because this is a great opportunity to make things work. When you first implement this, you want to implement it in Rappi, like Rapido in Spanish, but then afterwards you want to switch back to pair. So the process is promotions, ads, inventory, and rankability, but when you're implementing this for the first time, you go rankability, because you want to focus on which products can rank. Then you want to go advertising, focus on making sure your ads are profitable. Then promotions, because if you have something that's rankable, you can really grow it from there. And then finally, inventory, because if you're going to go out of stock, there's no point in doing any of this. And if you have lots of stock, there's a big point in doing this. So you also want to implement it slow and steady. Again, if you can get your conversion rate up, and then you just want to stay in stock. So the main thing you need to be focused on is slow and steady. You don't want to hurt your rankings, you don't want to hurt your inventory position, and you don't want to get charged by Amazon for being low stock. Very annoying. So final thoughts. Jeff wants you to win. Like, this is like a game set up for you to win. You just have to play by Jeff's rules. Also, customers want you to win because there's 2-day shipping. There's every product you can possibly think of. Everybody wants you to win. This is a good situation. But you have to give Jeff what he wants so he can give you what you want. And I'm going to finish by quoting Abraham Lincoln. At least Abraham Lincoln probably said this. I think he said, if I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. The pair process is how you sharpen the axe. So with that said, thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, that's me. That's my website.
All right. One more round of applause for Sean.